Good morning. So it feels weird sitting in front of the camera because I finally figured out that I have been sick as a dog. You know, I have that thing. Look, I was feeling so horrible for so long and couldn't figure out what was going on. And I'm not feeling well. That's what's going on. My sinuses are acting back up. So this whole side of my head has been just stuffed up and pounding all the way down to my teeth. And so I've just been having these horrible headaches and I haven't been able to concentrate. And hold on a minute, I am so thirsty. I can't even find my water bottle. I don't think I drank a sip of water yesterday or today so far. I've drank fluid like, tea and juice and cranberry juice, that sort of thing, but no water. So hang on, let me go find it. Okay, I'm back. So apparently I haven't drank water way longer than I thought because I found my water bottle. It was upstairs and I haven't been upstairs in like 3 days. So apparently I haven't drank water for 3 days. So it's no wonder that I'm having headaches and that I don't feel well. That explains a lot, doesn't it? But so I've been having so much pain in my legs and in my feet with my neuropathy that I'm trying this. I don't know. Is it snake oil salesman vibes in a bottle? I don't know, but at this point, I'm willing to try anything. So, been using this for a couple of days. I think I feel a difference, but placebo, who knows? So I'm going to keep trying it and see what happens. And because I suffer from allergies, and not only allergies, but I am, no, that's still allergies, right? I'm allergic to everything. My husband's like, well, Toots, he goes, I have the windows open, but the pollen's down. I'm like, sweetie, I'm not just allergic to pollen. Dust, mites, dirt, leaves, grass, flowers, everything. I said, when I had my horse, I was allergic to the hay and the alfalfa. That was tricky. So with that said, I'm also have been taking this. I don't know. It didn't seem to work yesterday, but who knows? And I'm taking this diphenhydramine. Diphenhydramine works pretty well. Yes, I say diphenhydramine. I say the biological name for things if I can because I'm weird. And so, funny story, when I had to go to the doctor, for my, all of my things, she asked me, about my headaches, what I take. And I said, I usually either take like, ibuprofen or, acetaminophen. And I said, I find that the acetaminophen helps really well for like my headaches and stuff like that. And that the ibuprofen seems to work better when I have like inflammation along with the pain. You know what she says to me? She goes, acetaminophen? And I said, yeah. She goes, you mean Tylenol? And I said, yeah, if you want to call it, by the marketing name, not all acetaminophen is Tylenol. So, at least I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, she just thought it was so strange of me to say acetaminophen instead of Tylenol. But literally, that's what it says on my bottle. So, whatever. And so, I'm also taking, an O spray. I have quite a laundry list of, medicine cabinet things right here. And I cannot be without my chapstick. And quite honestly, since I've been down, I haven't been doing a whole lot of crocheting. I've been watching a whole lot of TV, and I've decided a lot of people probably should be using glue stick on their lips instead of chapstick. I'm just saying. So, what else is going on? I've been working on my blanket, and so that's going pretty well. After that horrible, I don't have my notes here. I don't know, it was like 72 hours for the setup round the first time I did it, and 17 hours the second time I did the round, the setup round, because I had to start all the way over from scratch, which, if you saw my previous video. And so, but now everything seems to be going pretty well. And I can appreciate that, that McKnit lady, whatever her name is, like uh, Mary McKnit, yes, with her star blanket thing. Um, I could appreciate that she says once you have everything all set up that you don't have to count, unless you're me. So if you're neurodivergent and you want to make this star blanket, you're autistic, ADHD, any of those sorts of things, and you have problems, honing in on that focus because you've got contradicting things going on in your brain, then just count and save yourself a lot of stress. Because since I started counting, my blanket is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I am taking out and frogging less and less. So there's that. And something else I've been doing while I've been like, sick and, just laying out is trying to find some really good crochet content. That's difficult because I'm really particular the type of content that I watch. I don't want to watch um trad wifey type super high end, looks like a store behind them, the long hair flipped, just perfectly, and that vernacular that some women use, that vernacular, you know what I'm talking about. Just can't get behind that at all. And I don't like content that's like super professional and here's my chart and we're going to stitch like this today. I don't like that, you know. I'm looking for something unique. And so I've been looking for like alternative type crocheters. So if any of you guys know any alternative crocheters out there, that aren't like sitting in their $2.5 million house with a 20 by 20 foot walk-in closet for their yarn room, that would be great. I want to add some flavor to my list of content. So I want to do that. And I think that's kind of it right now. I'm going to be doing a lot of crocheting today, so I'm going to take you guys with me on that. Let's see, I've already done all of my morning stuff. I've washed my face and brushed my teeth. I forgot to do my hair. Let's do a quick get ready with me. Let me show you how easy it is to do my hair. It's truly ridiculously easy to do my hair. Now that I have down a system. There. Shall we get started for the day? I've gotten, a little bit of work done today. Not a whole lot. I'm going a little bit slow. I'm kind of casually crocheting today. And thought I'd do something different. And um, instead of watching instead of watching YouTube videos, I pulled up my HBO and there's a new series out there called The Chair Company. And I just watched the first episode. It's different. It's like really different. And the man that plays the role, he is either a terrible actor or he's freaking nailing it. I'm leaning toward he's nailing it because he's very different. The Chair Company, it says, after an embarrassing incident at work, a man finds himself investigating a far-reaching conspiracy. That's all I'm going to say, because if you want to see it or watch it, I don't want to tell you what's happening, but it's weird. It's the weird kind of weird where you're like, I don't know. I need to watch another episode. So I think a new episode drops today. So today or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but I might have to watch it again because it was just I don't know, it was too far out there. But with that being said, I said earlier that I've been trying to find some different crochet content out there because I don't like that elitist type, very clinical type feel of some of the crocheting content that I've seen out there that smacks toward even high-end, the high-end knitters, the ones that think they're better than everybody else, which is so unfortunate because we're all crafters. I really hate that about people, that you have to like compare and say, well, mine's better than yours because I do this and you do that. That's terrible. But with that said, I did find some alternative type crocheters that I'm investigating. And let me tell you who I found. And then I'll try to make sure that I shout them out and link them down, you know, in the thing down there. And so where did I put it? Hang on. Oh, here it is. Right in front of me, right in front of me where I can't see it. So, Crochet 80. No, wait. Crochet HD. She's different. She is more of a Gen Xer. She's what all of these people are way younger than me. All these people on here are probably like, either my kids or grandkids in age. But I love them all the same anyway. Anyway, it's Crochet HD. C-R-O-C-80 HD. Really super cool. All 80s inspired. All of her crochet is 80s inspired. And it's fun. Another one I found is Deb's Artsy Life. And I really like her. She's just down to earth and just sits there and just talks about her crochet, kind of like what I do. Except she sits on this really cool little badass couch. And she has all of her, crochet things, displayed behind her on her couch and sitting next to her, and up along her wall that she has, she has all of her whips and stuff down there. And I just love listening to her talk. So if you like watching crochet content because while you're crocheting, she's a really good one to do that with. Another one that I'm really starting to dig quite a bit is Haley Knight. I really like her. She leans more toward like goth type crochet, which is really interesting. And I know you wouldn't know it by looking at me and because of my age, because I'm technically a boomer. But I really liked that, the goth phase. And I'm actually really love steampunk also. Those are my secret, silent, guilty pleasures. We all have them. And then Setta's Place. She's just cool. She's just this lady. She's sitting in her chair. She's talking about what she's making and stuff like that. Talking about her family, what's going on in her life. And I love her series that's called What Had Happened Was. And then she, spins off on a story. And so I really love that too. And then this is a new gal that I found. And she's different. She has a small camper on her parents' property, I guess. And she crochets out of her little camper, and she's been remodeling it and, doing all sorts of, really cool things in there. And she likes things, I want to say like 70s more inspired. And she's really, really big into Stranger Things, which I love Stranger Things. I need to watch that again. Any Stranger Things lovers out there? Have you seen it lately? I need to watch it. Matter of fact, I think I've only seen 3 seasons. How many seasons are there now? I don't know. I'll have to go look. And then Kelsey Boo Crochets. I love her stuff. She's just so cool. She just moved. Her and her husband, I think. Boyfriend, I think. They just moved and everything like that. So she's been working on several new projects and getting some whips done and stuff like that. And she likes to do... she's done jerseys before, which is really super cool. And she does, I can't think of what it's called. It's not overlay or something. I don't know what it's called. But she does something that's a really cool little thing that she adds to her crochet that I really like. And I think she just did something witchy. I think she just did a witch's hat, so that was really cool. And her was Kelsey Boo Crochets. And then I have an honorable mention because this girl here, this girl here, her name is @Naomi Cartoons. If you guys are anywhere in the I'm in the gumi. I'm in the gumi. You know, make it those. If you're into doing that kind of thing, she makes these cartoon characters that are the ugliest, cutest things I have ever seen in my life. And if I were independently wealthy, I would own at least 2 of them. They're amazing. So yeah, so that's kind of what I found so far as, trying to find something not boring. That's all I'm trying to do. So anyway, let me talk about this star blanket. You guys, it's coming along. I'm so proud of myself. First off, let me start there. Because once I realized what was going on with this thing up here, my things, I really started to back off on being mean at myself. Don't get me wrong, there's still some that old record player still playing up there. Record player, 8-track, cassette, all of them. They're all playing all at once. But I am gaining a little bit of confidence, and that's what matters. I want to show you how I've been keeping track of my stitches, because I've been seeing people out there, they've got charts and they've got graphs, and they're download this spreadsheet, to track, your stitch counts and what row you're on, and and what round you're on. And I'm like, why are you doing all of that? That's too much work. Because you know me. What do I always say? I like to work smart, not hard. Now, sometimes my working smart might, skip a step or two, or 10. Let's be honest. But for the most part, I can typically come up with something that's easy, that's going to work for me, like this. So here, take a look. That's what it looks like. Now, I'm going to explain what I've done. First off, I've highlighted things that I always seem to forget. And so those are to remind me to don't forget those. Smart. And then the purple is to remind me where to hook in my stitches. That has been my biggest issue, especially finding out that specifically you attach one of the rounds to the chain, not a stitch, not a slip stitch, but the actual chain. That makes a huge difference. That makes a 1 count difference on every row. So I learned that. So everything in purple is where I need to join to continue on with the next round, because working in the round, okay? And then everything that's circled is the number that I'm supposed to hit, whether it's at the top of the peak or at the bottom of the peak, or from peak down and then up. I have all of those numbers accounted for, and I know what round I'm on. So here I've done 6 rounds, 6 rounds, 6 and 6, and I'm right here now. So I'm working on this round here, and then I'll be finishing out down here. You see what I'm saying? So I am right here. Oh, okay, here. I'm right here. So I'm on round 5, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 check marks and a 6th check mark. But see, I don't have a hashtag through that check mark yet. Right there. That means I have not finished that row. As soon as I finish that row, I put a little dash across that check mark, and then I go down here, and then I put my next check mark. I'm starting down there next. That has been saving me a lot. And then circling each one. These are the counts that are supposed to be for each of the rows, or each of the rounds that I do. And so that has been a game changer. And I feel more interactive. I feel like I've watched enough of the video to where I've got it, I've got that rhythm in my head. And now, by making myself pay attention to the start of each row in yellow, how to attach in each row around, and then what numbers I'm supposed to hit, and then what round am I on with all of these? What repeat round, you know what I mean? And that has been working out so well, and it has been so good for my stress. I don't have any stress. The only stress I have is if I do have to take out a row, I have to remember, I have to do this for my brain. If I have to take out a row, say I'm here and I have to take out that whole row and start back up here, I erase that so I don't get confused. I erase it. And then when I'm back down and I've redone my rows and I'm back down here, then I check mark it off again. That has saved me too, because at one point in time, I had to take out 3 big, long rows because I had done, I don't even know how I did it because I'm just that, special and talented. But I actually had a row that was a round that was half of one round and half of the other. I don't even know how I did it. But once I did that, and it took me like a day and a half to take all of those rows out, that's when I put all of this into place. And this is working for me. So if you're like me and you have problems keeping up and keeping track with what you're doing, and you need a method that's visual, if you're a visual thinker like me, trying colored highlighters might work. And I can honestly tell you that this is the first time I've ever used highlighters to keep track of work that I've done before. And it's the first time that I've used check marks and tick marks. And it's the first time that I've like used circles, just to give me little, like points on the graph on where I'm at. And man, I wish I would have thought of up this years ago. And I know it just seems so easy, but you have to remember and you have to understand that I thought I was normal like everybody else, that I was just slower at it, or that they had like, more special things that they knew, or they knew like a special workaround, or a loophole that, that I didn't get told about, in the birth canal or something, you know what I mean? And so I never thought to do anything like this, because the old me in my mind, when I was masking and trying to be normal, I would have been like, well, why are you doing all that? Just do the thing. And why are you doing all that writing and stuff like that? Can't you just follow it? I can picture myself saying something like that, all the while on the other side of my brain going, but you can't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. So anyway, enough of that. So I wanted to tell you that. And then I also wanted to show you, I'm on my 3rd ball on the blanket. And so the first ball was the colorway 10, which was the Ceres blue, yellow, and green. And then my second ball I put on was the colorway 7, which was tangerine, red, purple, and pink, number 2. And the third one that I just put on last night, actually. No. Last night? I don't remember. It was either last night or this morning. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that, right? But anyway, I put the 3rd ball on, and it's colorway 6, and that is teal, blue, purple, and plum. And it's just looking so pretty. And so I thought I would come on here and yap a little bit because, I have to get it out. And then I want to show you what the color is looking like on this 3rd ball, because it's so pretty. And then, yeah, I'm just going to sit back and bring you down with me, and I'm going to do some crochet, and I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I'll watch some HBO. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch some YouTube. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let me show you where I'm at. I am going to be picking up right here. Look at that. It's just so pretty. And I'm not going to hold the whole thing up because I'm already sitting down on the floor and I'm lazy and I don't want to get back up. So, but this is what it's looking like. So stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, let's get this hook in here and let's get some work done. Okay, I'm doing my due diligence and I do have my eye patch on. It really does help. So I'm getting ready to get started. I've got my eye patch on and any other little incidentals I need. And I just found this other new crocheter. Her name is Crafty Sue 519. So I'm going to check her out and see what she's talking about. So, let's crochet together, people. Okay, so let me bring you back up here. See, I've already managed to confuse myself. So I counted my stitches, and from the corner, after I do 5, I'm supposed to have 40 stitches by the time I get to the valley. And then I'm supposed to skip 2, which means I go into the top of this one right here. I took out the 41st, this was stitch 41, and so I took it out to have 40, but now here's 40, here's where I'm supposed to be, but there's 3 spaces in there, see? I want to cuss so bad. I want to say the F word so bad, but I'm not going to say it. So, as usual, I'm going to stop here so I can recount all of my recounts to see what the heck I did, because this side that I just finished, this side came out right, you know, like it's supposed to. So why isn't this coming out? And I'm confused because I thought I was on, remember I was showing you guys this right here? I haven't ticked through that yet, so I'm still on this one, right? And I'm supposed to have 40 stitches from the top of the peak down to the valley, but I have 41, which is right here in the directions on round 6. But I thought I was on round 5. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to turn the camera off and do some more counting and see what happened and see what went wrong. See, this is what I was saying. I don't remember if it was this video. Probably not this video. Probably the video where I introduced the star blanket. I think it dropped, it's dropping on Wednesday, last Wednesday. Matter of fact, it just dropped while I'm making this. And every morning when I wake up, I have to relearn the pattern and relearn the rhythm every day. And I thought that was just a normal part of, of learning and, what people do, but it isn't. I understand that now. And so before I sat down to start crocheting right now, I did not go back through and review everything in front of it. So typically when I go to start, say I'm supposed to start, say I'm starting right here. What I would do typically is start here and go all the way around and review everything I've done. The previous row and the current row I'm working on to make sure I'm on the right recipe on the directions. And I didn't do that, so I'm going to go do that. And then I'm probably going to go eat a snack or something because I eat when I'm stressed out. And I'm stressing right now. Again, because I thought I had it this time. And I say that every stinking time. I mean it this time. And it's just never, it's never right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go take a little break. and get my attitude back in check, because I know that, you know, I have a neurological issue here. And so, you know, let me get my head on straight. And yeah, I'll be back. Maybe later on tonight, maybe not. I don't know. It'll depend on, you know, what my attitude decides. Deuces. Okay, so I'm stopping back in for the night. I figured out, yes, I absolutely had it. Another problem. Never mind. So anyway, what I had to do was, I had a mistake right here, and I was ending up being a stitch short to make sure the valleys lined up. So I had to put 4 stitches in one stitch and then another one in a different stitch instead of all 5 in the same stitch. I just broke it out like that, and then I marked it. So when I go back on the second row, I'll either find out that it worked and then I can continue, or I will find out that it didn't work and then I'll only have 2 rows to take out instead of 3 or 4. So that's where we're at. And so I fudged it a little bit right here. And then what I did was I pre-counted down and marked where I need to be on the rest of all of the points and valleys. So there's no guessing where I'm supposed to be. And, you know, I really don't like the theory or the thought of having to count all the stitches, because at the biggest point of this recipe, I'll be counting upwards of 130 between here and here. And right now I'm only counting 80. So I have quite a ways to go. But if pre-counting out my rows and just stitch marking them helps me get done what I need to get done without my brain breaking, then that's what I'll have to do. And I'm only going to do it until I don't need it anymore. So if I continue to need stitch markers, I will continue to use stitch markers. If I don't need them, I'll probably still use them intermittently. But yeah, I'm deciding to err on the caution of just doing extra counts. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to keep crocheting for the rest of the night. Hubby went out fishing, and so I had a peanut butter sandwich for lunch, and since he's fishing, I'll probably have another peanut butter sandwich for dinner, and I'm going to call it a night. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a great one. It's been a really long week, and it's actually like 8 o'clock at night, and I've been sitting here since about 11 o'clock this morning. I was so excited to get up and crochet today, you guys. I still have on my jammies. I actually put my jammies on last night. I usually sleep in my clothes and then wear them for several days. I know. But I actually had my jammies on last night and my old-fashioned bonnet, you know, because, you know, I don't like wearing my good ones to bed, but, you know, it happens. And so I've literally been dressed like this all day. And I was so excited because I thought I was going to be ending this video telling you that I had completed full 6 rounds of this star blanket, which is exciting, and starting on round 7. However, I had 3 mistakes that I found because I kept redoing this same spot over and over and over again on 2 different rows. I'm like, okay, that's not a coincidence. There's something going on. So yeah, I've had to take out, not rows, but I've had to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 big rounds. And so I'm currently going to end the night on that. So I'm taking out 2 rounds of the double crochet, 1 round of single crochet, and then a round of the cluster stitches with the what is it, 3 double crochets, 2 together. No, hold on, 3 double crochets, 3 together. That row, I've been messing up on that row too. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'm having a really good time, you guys, even though I'm having to take my stuff out a whole bunch of times. We know why. And so, you know, I'm not getting mad at myself anymore. You know, I'm just do the work. hunker down and do the work. And so this is what it's looking like. I just put on, if I haven't mentioned it, I put on the third ball. So I'm actually working on the third ball so far on this blanket, and it's just coming out so well. What do you think, you guys? Aren't those colors beautiful? Can you hear me? Are those colors just beautiful? And I know you can't see the whole thing, but you will soon. All right, so I think I'm going to end here. Like I said, this is because I could just keep this going, like, you know, perpetually. And so make sure down in the comments you tell me what you're working on, you guys, because I love hearing what you're working on, and tell me how it's going and if you love it or if you hate it. That's important. Don't work on something that you're not feeling. You're not feeling it? Don't work on it. Life's too short. Frog it. Throw it in the whip bin. Pull it out next year, and then maybe next year you want to finish it, next month, who knows? But don't stress. Says the granny who's always stressed out. Yeah, right. We're going to listen to you. But anyway, and you know my usual questions. Are you neurodivergent, or do you have neurodivergent tendencies? Are you autistic or ADHD, or think you might be? I hope you are, because that's what I am, and I like hanging out with people that are like-minded. And I know you love yarn, so, you know, we're all in this together, and I'm glad you're here with me. So I'm going to get off of here because I'm going to just keep on going, because I have like 50 conversations going on in my head right now, and they all want to talk to you. So with that being said, we will see you in our next video.